it was fun. I guess that's kind of where it all spans from. Like when I first heard the track, I thought it was sick. It's got a grungy sort of dubstep trap feel to it that I am just in love with. And I just wanted to remix it because why not? Like, why wouldn't you want to have a play? You know, like that's what the fun was about. And it was a bit weird because at the time I was real, like, it wasn't writer's block, but I just wasn't keen to make music at the time. I was just like, you hit me up and asked me if I'd done anything, and I was like, oh, not really. And yeah, it all came around fun. Like, I love the track because of that grungy sound, and so when I eventually did get stuck in it, it was so easy, you know, because it was so much fun. You know, when I asked you guys about the remix, I was just like, oh, what am I going to do with this? Like, what could I do? You know, I loved it. So when you love a track, what are you going to do to it to make it better? Or better? I don't know, I guess I looked at it like, I'm not going to make it better, I'm going to just put my twist on it. Just fun, man. It's so much fun. That was so much fun. It happened so quick, 2 days. I had it done pretty much. Like, it took ages to get into. It took me like, what, a couple of months maybe? Month and a bit. But I just sort of, yeah, I started chopping it up, and that's where it landed from. It just fucking boom. I was just on a roll more than anything. It was, I think, just the main sound, that grungy lead that's in it. I chopped it up to, I just rearranged it, and it was just like an 8-bar loop of the drop, and then I didn't really touch it again. I was like, oh, yeah, cool. What I tend to do is I'll just like do things like that, and then like go try new ideas. But then I came back to it, and from chopping it up there, I just deleted a bunch of the chops, and then just added in the first sound. Worked real well. Added in the next sound. Worked real well. There was one point where I was like, what am I going to do for this? It just happened. Like, it was one of those, like, I know how I did it, but I didn't plan it, you know? And then after that, it was sweet as. I've been trying to like pay more attention to other songs and how they progress. So the flow of my work lately has been a lot easier. Because I've been sort of analysing structures rather than just like sounds and things like that, you know? Structuring your tunes it's so easy to learn if you just listen. That's what I've been doing a lot lately, and also some videos and whatnot, and it just like, in combination with me trying to learn more and the sounds working well together, it just worked. And because of that grungy feel to it and me liking that, it's the style that I like making, so that helped me with my flow, you know. I sent it to a couple of people, the first version. Everyone seemed to, for the most part, love it, but just good comments, you know. When you get just that, it's good, you know. You're like, yeah, sick. Nobody's got feedback, man. But at the same time, sometimes people are just like, yeah, that's cool, which is sweet as. But for the most part, it was just that, which is cool. I was vibing it at the time. I was like, man, this is dope. Sick. How did I do this? I added a few samples. I added a whole bunch of just synth work, just because I've been trying to do a lot more of that. But for the most part, one thing that I've always done and I always love doing is just like using original sounds that aren't so prominent and making them prominent. I don't know why, but Quix always puts these sounds in his songs that are just like real quiet, and then I'll get stems to these songs and be like, where was this sound in the mix? Man, this is dope. So I love like bringing out other sounds, and like, yeah, and I tend to use really quiet stuff. And like, I don't know, chuck on some processing, boom, away you go, and it's loud. Each part of the track sort of has an original sound that's more dominant. Music is always changing, so it's almost impossible to say where I'm going to end up. But at the same time, I'm just at this point in my career where I just want to make whatever I want to make at the time. I'm not, you know, like there's definitely a blueprint sound. I know what it is because I know what I'm making a lot of the time. It doesn't mean I'm going to release all of the stuff that I make though. But not everyone's hearing that. So for me, I guess quite often it's kind of harder to hear a sound. Whereas with someone who is a lot more established, they've been putting out albums and whatever. It's a little bit easier for you to hear their sound. Lately I have been switching it up, but like I said, I just want to make what I want to make at the time. Like I'm trying to steer towards a sound. Just one sound. Then I'll sit in the studio and be like, man, I want to make this banger. I want to make this, whatever. Yeah, a lot of the stuff at the moment has been more along the lines of the remix. Banger, but also like a bit of a gritty vibe to it. The remix kind of like is almost like the hybrid version of my sounds. My more upbeat and my more emotional, epic, cinematic styled production. I think the next release will be quite a epic, emotional one. Thank you for watching, guys. Shout out to Pacific Empire and Snared for having me. See you next time. Go listen to this record. Stream it right now. Get your laptop and stream it. I'll ship. No, just have a go. Have a listen. Let me know what you think.
I like it.